number of guests, and your ability to rent. Can you rent it when you're not home? That can change over time. Be sure that your situation is grandfathered in if the rules change after you take possession. And the most important thing I always tell people is the resale value is very important. In active adult communities, there's a lot of turnover. People change their plans, they get sick, they die. Homes change hands as a result. And if you're flexible about what you want in a home and you don't absolutely need to have a new one, investigate the resales because there can be some pretty good bargains there. People are anxious to sell and anxious to get out from under the confines of the rules of the community. They have to move someplace else because of health issues. Lots of times you can snap up a bargain. Yes, you may have to update it, but you'll get what you want at a lower price, and you can spend that money on fixing it up the way you want. Just remember, it does take longer to sell your home because you're limited to only attracting buyers over the age of 55. And many new communities are sprouting up every year. So an active adult community will have many similar amenities between communities from one place to another. So you want to make sure the location is paramount in your choice. Where is that located? Is it close to a main city? Is it convenient for horseback riding? A lot of communities are now focusing on niche marketing to attract certain types of people to their area, like if you have artists or musicians or Margaritaville style amenities. So you want to make sure of what your competition is, and if you can find out any inkling of what might be coming up in the future. The next thing you have to think about, though, is that buying a new home will likely cost more than you planned for. So you want to find out what deals are available. If the builder is still in charge and building the new construction, if you insist on negotiating with the builder on your own, remember that the builder factors the realtor commission into the base price or the marketing. They don't want you to necessarily know this, and they'll be happy to pocket the money that would have been paid to a realtor to represent you. So you need to be able to ask what the commission rate would be, and will they give that to you if you insist on not working with someone to represent you? Will they credit that to you for a down payment or an upgrade or something like that? Another important item to remember, does the HOA have enough reserve funds to cover future expenses? Now, if you're just moving in, well, eventually the streets are going to have to be paved and the pools have to be maintained, the tennis court, the golf course, replacing the fitness center equipment, things like that. And golf courses can really be expensive. And if the board is on top of things, they'll have a long-range plan that sets aside money for these big ticket expenses. And then they'll develop a long-range plan for doing it. They'll usually hire an outside consulting firm to do a reserve study. But you need to just check on that, because if they slap you with a special assessment, that can take a lot of money. Did you read the minutes of the board meeting? You should be able to get several board meetings to see what's going on. Are there any people who cause problems at the meetings? Are the board members pretty much unified on what they want to accomplish? Are the board minutes clear and well written? Do the elections allow for new board members to rotate in? You don't want to have somebody who stays on as president for years and years and years and rules the roost. You want to talk to presidents to find out their opinions of how the board works. And you talk to the board members to see how they feel about the future of the community. How long have they been there? Are they planning on staying for a while? It's your new home, so you want to investigate thoroughly. Spend time doing your due diligence up front so you can avoid headaches or regrets later on. Another thing that's very important to check on, what about health care and transportation? Don't assume that doctors are plentiful and accessible. There are some areas, some states that are building up for active adult communities, but the medical may still not be as good. And you got to find out, is the doctor willing to take new patients? Some communities have on-site ambulance services to local hospitals, and that can save precious time in an emergency. So you want to check on that. You want to review all of that. And the last thing to really think about is how far away or remote is the community. Because of land costs and zoning, many communities are located outside the hustle and bustle of a downtown area. I mean, land is, you have to have a lot of land to be able to build enough houses and community amenities to be able to make it worthwhile. So you're likely going to have to drive to the theater or a great restaurant or grocery shop. Now, there are some communities that are huge and can afford to have a grocery store on site. Maybe eye doctor, doctors and things can be on site because they are so large. So the volume of the number of residents makes it beneficial for a doctor or whoever to come in to the community because they can service all the people in the community. But you want to make sure that your health plan, if you're on Medicare and a supplemental insurance policy, is that doctor part of the plan so that you don't lose out on things. And also, how far away is the nearest hospital, or is there an urgent care close by? In case of emergency, you're going to need to get to a hospital quickly, and precious time is valuable. So you want to check into all of these things, and let me know if you have any other questions about picking a community, because first of all, you need to decide, okay, do I want to live in warm weather? How about the taxes? How do I figure out where to live? A lot of people want to be close to their grandkids. Some people want to live where the taxes are low and the weather is warm. And they don't want to have to necessarily move again. But you want to pick a community that seems vibrant and well managed, because you're going to be there 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. So know that the people who are moving in will often be aging with you in place. And if you pick a community that was started many, many years ago, you may run into people who are much older than you are, and it may not sit well with you. So you want to see what the makeup of the community is age-wise so that you can pick accordingly. But you can come on to my website, www.boomerhousingoptions.com, if you need more assistance. And you can listen to my other podcasts that I've done on how to figure out if you need to sell first or buy first, or how to get financing to buy something, and go from there. And you will find out. It's going to be a big decision, but you can do it. And if you need any help, you can email me at moveorimprovewithdebbie@gmail.com. And thanks for joining me today.